In this world, the right approach is to meet the risk head on, but does it work for Claire and Kagaya? Well, let's find out.
化け物に実はね
What is going on, guys? My name is DJ Milez, and I'm here to review another episode of Gleipnir. This is episode 5 titled Crazy Enemies. And before we begin with this review, if you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel for more anime content down the road. By far, this is the best episode of Gleipnir that we have seen because we got a lot of jam-packed action. We get some more character introductions. And how the hell was this episode supposed to end? Because it ended in a way I did not predict. So now let's go ahead and talk about this. So Claire and Kagaya, it looks like they have a brand new Pokemon. I mean, a brand new ally joining them on their quest to hunt down all the coins. And his name is Tadanori Sanbei, but I'm just gonna call him the Summon Skull because let's be real, this motherfucker looks like a fusion between Scyther, the Pokemon, and the Yu-Gi-Oh card, the Summon Skull. So the Summon Skull is now joining Claire and Kagaya on their adventures to hunt down all the coins. And who would have thought that this huge gamble that Claire and Kagaya made confronting the enemy head on was going to prove very fruitful, because this guy, the Summon Skull, very easy. He's just a guy with brute force who met and encountered the alien, and he's like, so thank you for bestowing this incredible energy and strength, and I just point blank want to use it. I want to test out how powerful I am. I used it against some random Joes, and they're not really doing anything for me, and you know, I really don't want to fight a girl, but it looks like this little mascot of an enemy, he might be stronger than the average Joe. And what do we see here? We see some gorgeous, fantastic shots. I love the fight choreography in this anime so much, where there's that moment where you see Kagaya perform that falcon punch right into the rib cage of the Summon Skull, and the music was just lit too. I mean, guys, it has to be said every week with this show, the music stands out very much in this show. It just sets the tone for what we're watching, right? So I love the choreography between Kagaya and the Summon Skull. It was a lot of fun. We get some quick shots, but again, the very important thing that we got from last week's episode, where Kagaya asked himself, am I the main protagonist of this show? Because let's be real, if you and I were writing this show with the same themes and what's going on, would Kagaya be your main protagonist, or would it be the Summon Skull? Or would it even be the person from Attack on Titans that we'll talk about in a second? This is a very interesting question, because when Claire was facing off against the Summon Skull, we see here, in terms of brute strength, the Summon Skull got them. They can't do anything against the Summon Skull. And guess who else Claire and Kagaya had a trouble time facing off against? Claire's sister, right? This was a huge mental game that a lot of people don't think about. You can have technique and you can have brute strength working for you, but a lot of fighting comes down to the mental game here. This is a very important lesson I learned from My Hero Academia season 4, the Red Riot episode, if you guys have seen that episode, where Fat Gum tells Kirishima, and he tells the enemies he's facing, the person who loses their fighting spirit loses first. I don't care how strong you are, I don't care how many techniques you have under your disposal, if your fighting spirit breaks first, you will lose first. And what happened with Claire? When Claire realized, oh, that one punch to the rib on the Summon Skull wasn't enough, what did she think about? Mentally, she was thinking, oh shit, I can't beat this person. And you know who else I couldn't beat? I couldn't defeat my own sister. So if we are going to go on this journey of capturing all the coins, how can we do that if we are just the level 1 Caterpie facing off against a Scyther / Summon Skull Yu-Gi-Oh monster, right? So very interesting message that this episode laid upon us, and I really love that. Because let's talk about the earlier parts in this episode. We see another random girl who had the abilities of that track star that we saw more or less, right? Where, hey, her arms can transform, her legs can transform. Well, unfortunately, it looked like she didn't make it out alive from that Attack on Titan monster. We see in the episode this little Blair Witch symbol sprinkled throughout the territory of oh, this is my turf, this is my homeland. And what happened with that poor girl facing off against that green Attack on Titan monster? It looks like if this guy was taking pictures of Claire and Kagaya in the Summoned Skull, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna say the girl that we saw in the beginning of this episode sadly is dead. When we see this guy with a lot of bravado, now let's actually talk about the crazy part in the episode. Taking pictures of Claire and Kagaya saying, hey, you know what? I got pictures of you. Your identities are discovered because of me, so I'm gonna make you a slave. And of course, wow, the thing that Gleipnir does, again, it's gonna be a very split 50-50 thing. The fan service where this guy just licking his tongue and looking at Claire and like, yeah, you're gonna be a slave to me. Jabba the Hutt, Princess Leia, slave shit going on. This is gonna be my future slave, so now do everything I want you to do. And of course, they just ramp up the sexual innuendos when all that stuff happens. So let me know in the comments down below. Is the fan service a bit too much for you, or are you more accepting of it in the show? For me, I'm just kind of glossing over it now, where I'm like, hey, you know what? This just comes with Gleipnir, so whatever. So we see this man saying, hey, you are on my turf, you're gonna be my slave now. So what does the Summoned Skull do? Are we gonna get an epic showdown? Nope. He just does a simple Mortal Kombat fatality, slashes him down, and he's like, oh man, I get to test out my strength on more people. And why is he going to test out his strength on more people? Because the one act of kindness he did, where he figured out in his fight against Claire and Kagaya that it looks like they might be telling the truth, and they're answering all my questions honestly. So you know what? I think I'll join them on their escapade to gather more coins, because quite frankly, I don't really care about gathering the coins, but if I can face off against enemies who might give them problems, I can figure out how strong I truly am. So, you know, I'm a bit surprised that when he did his one final technique where, you know, he bent his torso all the way back to use his two scythers to have that huge Dragon Ball Z impact, he's like, I guess I should test out the accuracy of this more. My boy, how about you just test out how quickly you can do that? Because I don't think in an actual fight, when you face off against someone who's going to give you problems, is gonna allow you to lean your body, your torso all the way back so you can do one charge attack. No one in a life or death battle is gonna give someone 30 seconds to perform their final technique on someone. We will see if that's gonna bite him in the ass or not, but I definitely love this episode of Gleipnir. We saw that the gamble that Claire and Kagaya did, approaching this person head on, came to fruition, right? Albeit they ran across some troubles with it, but ultimately it worked in their favor. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, now they have a brand new Pokemon joining them on their adventures, and who knows how many other allies can they form around them as they continue this pursuit of the coins. That is to be determined, but I did not expect this episode to end the way that it did. So what did you guys think about Crazy Enemies? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more anime content. My name is DJ Miles, and as I always say, to be continued. Take care.